Hey everyone, I have an exciting guest for you today. I have someone that goes by the moniker of Cash Flow Kris. So you know he speaks right to the heart of this channel of one rental at a time. So let's welcome Kris to the show. How you doing today, Kris?
I'm doing awesome, man. Thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, I saw you speak at Wholesaling Live there in Houston, and you brought down the house. And I knew I had to go. I hope he's going to say yes if I reach out. So I appreciate you saying yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Wholesaling was a lot of fun being down there in Houston, but man, I'll always say yes to these types of situations because I think we have a similar passion. We want to help people create passive income so they can actually live the lives that they deserve.
Absolutely, absolutely. So before we dive into that, how you came by the moniker of Cash Flow Kris, let's tell the world who you are, where you are in the country, what you kind of do for your real estate investing. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
It's Arizona. Um, it says my internet's unstable, so I'm not sure if
Nope,
this is me or you.
nope, you're
Okay.
good.
So, yeah, I'm out of Phoenix, Arizona. I got my real estate license 15 years ago after reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That book completely changed my life.
Yes,
Yeah. So, is that where you learned the
absolutely.
strategy?
30th
Yeah.
birthday. Yep, read it five
Awesome.
times in a row. I'm like, oh my
Love it.
God, I'm such an idiot.
Right. Right. So yeah. So I jumped head into real estate. I jumped in as a salesperson. I was in my 20s. And so worked that end of it for a little bit, all while learning and learning and learning, wanting to get in. Luckily, I didn't get in before 2007, 2008. And so by the time the recession had was at its lowest, that's when I jumped in. I mean, we started buying $20,000 houses and $16,000 condos, and then a year or two later, we were able to start flipping homes because people were actually buying them. And that's where it's gone from there. Fix and flip business 2 years ago turned into a new build business. So we're almost 100% new construction on our development side, which has been great, providing much needed houses for the area. Now we're actually getting into development. We're going to be putting together a 36 house subdivision, which
Wow.
is really exciting. And then, so that's that side of things.
Yep.
My cash flow side of things, decided to get serious about it a couple years ago. So I have a business partner on that end, and we buy apartments nationwide. And then we are in the Cleveland market for single families and small multifamily for cash flow. Cleveland is our cash flow place.
Very cool. Well, lots there to break down. Let's go through the evolution first. So you get your license, you're a real estate agent making, commissions on listings and sales. And then you dive in at the bottom. I'm going to call that 2010, just guessing.
Yep, exactly. 2010.
Yeah. And you were, it says you were buying 20K houses and 16K condos. Was that in the Phoenix area or wow.
You can believe it. Yeah. So quick little story.
Sure.
Uh, so this guy, it's a city called South Phoenix, a part of town called South Phoenix.
Uh-huh.
So very, very starter. So there's a 3-1 starter house. This guy bought it at the peak. I swear at the day of the peak, he must have bought it at 177,000.
Okay.
I believe it was like 20 months later. I bought it at foreclosure auction at 22.5.
Wow.
That same house just sold for 199.
Yeah. Wow.
Crazy, right? I mean,
Yeah.
the swing was massive. I believe that was a depression. I don't think we're going to see that in our lifetime again. I
Oh,
mean, 80% losses, no way.
yeah. There's well, I guess I'll never say never, right? Because hopefully you and I live another 50 or 60 years, so who knows what might
That's
happen.
true. That's true.
But I don't see the current quote unquote impending recession that everybody's talking about being anything close to what we saw. It's just not set up that way. The lending standards are different. It's not the same. It'll be different.
Right.
So I totally agree with you. So back to that house, right? So this poor gentleman bought it for 177, probably late '07, early '08.
Yeah.
20 months later, you pick it up at an auction, meaning like courthouse steps.
Courthouse steps. Yeah.
Wow.
Um, that is a kind of funny story too. So when you go to the foreclosure auctions,
Yeah.
the steps, as you
Yep.
say, in Arizona, you have to have a $10,000 cashier's check
Got
to
it.
be able to bid. So all these guys, all these big time investors, they were down there buying 10, 20 houses a day. It was crazy how many foreclosures we had. The only reason I didn't get bid up on this because I bid 22,501 and nobody else bid because they had all used their checks up. So I got super lucky on that. It was probably worth more like 35, 40 and I got it for 25. Yeah.
Wow. So just because I was buying at the same time, never bought on the courthouse steps. I was just buying out of the MLS, right? I had a day job.
Yeah. It was that easy.
I remember the listings went from nice, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, starter home to must sell, all caps. It's like, yeah, it was a weird time. So that 22.5
MLS, you could just take your pick. You put offers on 10 houses, lowball everybody, and
it was crazy.
Yeah,
that was insane. So what was the condition at 22.5? Did he take his anger out on his loss and bust it up, or what?
Certainly not. The opposite happened. Now it wasn't in great shape. It was just a normal house. Needed a cosmetic upgrade. But I knocked on the door. How's it going? I'm Kris. I own the house. Yeah, he was fully aware he was going to foreclosure. I'm like, well, so what's your plan? Well, I guess I got to find somewhere to move. Like, okay, well, do you want to live here? Because his payment was probably $1,300.
Right.
Because interest rates were not low back then. So $177,000. Yeah, he was probably paying at least like $1,200.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, pay me $800. He's like, or no, I wanted $8. I don't know what I wanted. We settled on $750. And he never moved until a couple of months ago when we moved him out so we could sell. We sold it to a flipper, and he flipped it for $200,000. But yeah, he paid every single day. Never heard from him. Yeah. The water heater broke once. He went and replaced it. It was perfect.
Done. Yeah, that's this 1% rule everybody talks about now and again. Bigger pockets thing. You had a 3% on that deal, right? 22.5. Right? You rented for $750.
Yep.
Yeah, special time 2010. If you were brave enough to get in.
I was shouting because I'm a realtor. I was shouting from the mountaintops, guys, buy. I was showing everybody in my world, my family, my friends, my clients. So few people took advantage of it. And it's crazy. I mean, especially when it's 20,000 and they're like, well, I think it's going to go lower. To what? 18? Who cares? You buy it at every level. Like it's fear, right? Yeah. Everybody was afraid. It was doom and gloom. And you have to be powerful when people are fearful, which we're at the opposite right now. Now real estate's super sexy, right? Everybody wants to buy real estate now.
Yeah.
Now you need to be really careful.
You have brought up something that I've been screaming on this channel for quite a while. And I just call it the herd mentality because I'm not sure what else to call it. Mm-hmm. Anytime the herd runs one direction, I get like way nervous, right? Because I got lucky. I call it lucky, right? But at least I was paying attention. We owned like 8 houses in 2007, right at the peak. I guess maybe 6 months before the peak. And I'm like, I can't buy the 9th house. I don't know what to do, right? Because the numbers were just stupid. Mm-hmm. And I went to a meetup and somebody talked about small multis and it worked. So we exchanged all of our 8 houses to apartments. No 1031 exchanges. And like, I swear that the last one closed and like it crashed. So we're sitting in apartments, no houses. And we're like, oh, we got lucky.
Yeah. And if it cash flows, the value doesn't matter. So my mentor, one of my mentors, he owns lots of single families in the Phoenix area. So he owned a bunch and then he married a lady who owned a bunch. So together,
double up.
Yeah, exactly. There's a little empire there. And so we asked him one day, like, hey, Jeff, didn't you get, what happened to your net worth?
Yeah.
During the crash? He's like, yeah, my net worth got killed, but I don't live on net worth. I live on cash flow.
Exactly.
So who cares? I'm not going to sell anyways.
Yes. I wish most real estate investors would frankly stop talking about net worth. It's a made up number.
Hey, when me and my business partner, we both will tell you this. When we found out we were paper millionaires, it's like, okay, why am I broke?
Yeah, exactly. Where the freak is the cash?
Right. Yeah. I mean, that means nothing. That means nothing. It's all about how much money do you have coming in every single month that you don't work for.
Exactly. And as soon as that pile gets bigger than you're living below your means, you have freedom. That's what it should be about. Don't Don't increase your lifestyle. That's a huge mistake. But I want to go back to this herd mentality because I think we're right on the cusp. I feel it changing because you're right. There's a herd mentality. Real estate's good. Real estate's good. Let's say we have a recession in the next 18 to 24 months. I promise you real estate will be evil again.
All right.
And people will run away. So just talk about that mentality of I guess scared money doesn't make money I think it's a rap quote somewhere. I just see it all the time.
So true. Yeah. So definitely know your fundamentals, know what, pay attention. Really, if people just pay attention, not to the news, but to real data, you can really predict a lot of this stuff and stay ahead of the game.
Yeah, it's really cool. So let's go back.
We find a lot of the news, because if you pull your statistics, I don't know if you look at your local statistics or not, houses sold, median price, all these, they have hundreds and hundreds of stats.
Yeah.
Those are always at least 6 months ahead of the news. Always. Yeah,
good point.
So the herd is always 6 months behind. So we have a big advantage.
Yeah, no, I pay attention every day. I look every day. Every day. So let's talk about this. So back in 2010, you start picking up these ridiculously cheap houses and condos. Were those just instantly rentals for you, or did you start flipping those right away, or what was it like in the beginning?
Yeah, most of them were rentals. So we were going through a lot of short sales.
Ah, okay.
So the way I got into buy and hold, because I was a realtor and all the houses were cheap, so I wasn't making money.
Yeah.
My commissions were tiny.
Yeah.
But I had a client and he was looking for fourplexes in the Phoenix area. And I asked him, what are you looking for? What kind of return do you want? And he wanted a 12% return. So I was doing a little math. And my first deal I did, it was a 3-1 house in the same area as the last one. And it was a short sale. So the house was in perfect condition.
Yeah.
I bought it for $23,500.
Wow.
And I didn't do anything to it. I put a for rent sign. I rented it for $750. And so I went to him and I said, hey, I'll pay you 15% interest if you fund it 100%. So I didn't have to use any of my own money.
There you go.
So the payment, I believe, was right around like $340.
Yeah.
Plus tax and insurance. Yeah. So I'm cash flowing $300, 100% finance. And then bing, the light bulb went off. Wow.
Yeah. And then, oh, by the way, you didn't know it at the time, but you're holding on to an asset that was basically land value, and you get all the appreciation. He doesn't get any of it. He gets his 15 points. There's 340. You get all the equity gain. We did the same thing. We found a way to 100% finance deals because we're like, we want to buy everything. We can't buy everything.
That's a great point, because a lot of people will be like, oh, well, I have money. I'll just use my own money. Real estate's expensive. I don't care if you have $10 million. I could spend $10 million today.
Yeah.
That's nothing, because it's always going to make you more money. So yeah, always be raising money. That's really my number one job today and every day is to raise money.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, let's talk about that since we just brought that up. So obviously you found an investor that just wanted 12. You said, stop being a landlord. I'll give you 15. Right. So that worked for a while. Did that relationship just roll for quite a while, or when did it really become, oh, I want to go get multiple private sources?
Yeah. I mean, but again, that went great, but again, they run out of money. Everybody's limited. And, they're limited on money and they're limited on how much money they want to give me.
Yes.
Because you don't want to be over leveraged with one person. You don't want to have
totally agree
all your money. So yeah, I've always been a private lender guy. So whether it be on our fix and flips, our apartments, everything is usually at least starts with private money.
That's very cool. All right. So you get through this. It's starting in 2010. You're just adding rentals, $750 a pop, or rent $750 a pop. Then it sounds like you went into flipping at some point, maybe 2012 ish, somewhere in there.
And that was my big mistake.
Okay. Let's talk about, I like talking about mistakes. Why was it a mistake?
It wasn't really a mistake, but as far as in game, it was because I took my focus off the $200 or $300, right? Mm-hmm. Because it's not sexy. I want to go make 20. I want to go make 50.
You want the checks.
Yeah, right. Little did I know, that's the highest tax way to make money. So yeah, we did fine. We made a lot of money.
Yeah.
But several years went through and it was great. We had deals. they started getting thin, and then we're sitting there. Brian and I, we were doing a deal together, and actually, yeah, what we did is we wholesale. That's what it was. We wholesaled a deal. We just made a phone call. It was literally like in 5 minutes, we made $37,000.
Yeah.
And both of us at the time were running pretty big fix and flip operations. And both of us were like, well, that's gone.
Oh,
Like we were making like $16,000, $17,000 in like that. And it was gone like that because we had such high expenses. We're like, this is crazy. We're doing this wrong.
yeah. Well, that's something I see in a lot of even smaller, medium, even big time wholesalers / flippers is all you have done. And this might sound a little harsh, but if you've left one job and created another freaking job. It's a job, and it's a horribly taxed job.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a high-paying job. It's a high-tax job, and you always have to find another one.
Always be marketing, right? Yeah, always be marketing. I mean, what'd you do over, 3 years? 50, 100? I mean, I have no idea what scale we're talking about.
Yeah, we've flipped, I don't know, probably close to 200 houses over
the years. What this might be a horrible question to ask, but I'm going to ask it anyway. I mean, have you ever stepped back and go, what would happen if we kept 1 out of 4?
I'd be a decamillionaire.
Yeah, that's what people need to hear, right? When you're in the throes and you're looking at $37,000 checks, they're sexy, they're addicting.
Mm-hmm.
But here you have an individual that did that, telling you, kind of not a good move, right? Because
1 out of 4, 1 out of 5, that's a great rule. I mean, just put it aside, set it aside. All the time, I'll see my old flips come up on the market. It's like
that hurts, right?
It does. Man.
Oh, yeah. So listen to this. Yeah, listen to this gentleman, right? He has done what lots of people watching this go, I wish I could do that. And he's telling you to keep 1 in 4, 1 in 5. So just build that into your business plan, right? Just stop the income, look for wealth. So that's really cool. All right. So then it sounds like deals got skinny. You've obviously picked up rehabbing and all of that, and you're looking for opportunities. And it sounds like you went to new build from there.
I did. Yeah. Fix and flip. I'm in Phoenix. We're probably the most competitive market in the nation.
Yeah.
All the gurus actually live here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was very competitive. And so I had experience. So from regular cosmetic fix and flips, I moved up to fire damage pretty quickly. Wow. Not a lot of people like that. We started doing add-ons, and, we started doing things that other people wouldn't do. So by doing add-ons, I had pretty much done a new build.
Yeah.
So, just 1 or 2 things that I needed to figure out. Started doing the math on price per foot. I'm like, man, we can make some real money on this. So we dove pretty much head in and been doing new builds. We have 11 in the works right now.
So just so I'm clear on the new builds, I'm guessing you're buying a sort of an infill city lot, and you're probably building something. Is that fair?
That's our main focus. Starter homes. Just like when I was in my fix and flip business, I never flipped $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 homes. Yeah. That was not my market. Starter homes all day. They're so easy to sell, and you have an exit strategy. If you can't sell, you can always rent it.
Perfect. Yeah. What is the median in Phoenix roughly today?
It's around 280.
And you stay what like when you exit one of these 11, what are you at?
We all except one is going to be 350 or under.
There you go.
And our bottom is like 230, 240.
Yeah. People listen to this. I've been preaching this for a while. Understand your median. And if you can, stay below that. Because if you're 2x the median, you're about to be, it's going to be painful.
Yeah.
Is my prediction.
We'll talk in numbers, how we pay attention to the statistics. If I pulled MLS active listings, so under $300,000 in our MLS, there's more pending than active.
And I'm guessing that's not the same for 600K and above.
No, I mean, we are in a hot market overall, but that's crazy. That's less than a month's inventory.
Yeah. I
mean, you can't get more of a seller's market than that.
There you go. I love it. And then, so you go from infill city lots. It sounded like, if I took my notes right, you're about to do a 36 unit. I don't know. Would that be a neighborhood, a block, or what was that called?
Subdivision. Yeah. It's 7 acres.
Oh, wow.
Up on a mountain. I'm really excited about this one. This is going to be, if we build it all the way out and sell all the houses, it's about a $21 million project.
And timeline for that?
Stuff.
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, 2-year timeline.
Yeah,
wow.
2 years. We have to develop the land, subdivide the land, develop the land, build the houses. So now we're just raising money we just need bigger money.
Yeah.
So
there you go. Well, actually, you know what? Let's just do that now. If somebody wants to ask more questions, maybe be a part of it, how can they get a hold of you or look you up on, or how do you want them to contact you? Let's throw that out now. We'll do it again at the end.
Sure. Cashflow Kris with a K, Kris. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. I'm real easy to get a hold of. Actually, I was gonna say I'm one of the AZ Flip guys. Facebook just took our page down. We have like thousands and thousands of posts, videos. We have 100 episodes.
Yeah.
That we filmed, and I don't know. We haven't posted in a while, and they removed our page, so we're fighting to get that back up. The AZ. I
want it back. AZ Flip guys. Yeah.
AZ Flip guys. Yeah.
That's funny. All right, so now let's transition. So all of that, even the 36 units, I'll call that a job, right?
Yeah.
That's work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, man.
When did you transition to? It sounds like Cleveland was the first market you went to. First, probably homes, and then you up leveled to multifamily or apartments across the country. Talk about that transition. Why Cleveland?
Absolutely. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm not that smart, and so I ended up selling all of those single families to fund my fix and flip business.
Okay.
So really bad mistake. Yeah, I mean, I made a lot of money off of them, but where am I at now? So it's okay. So yeah, a couple years ago, after that $37,000 fiasco, my business partner and I were like, "This is crazy. What are we doing? Let's change what we're doing." And so we decided to get into multifamily apartments. We've got a bunch of friends in the business.
Yep.
Friends who have tried to get us in multifamily for several years. And so we went to a couple seminars, took some courses. We knew what we were doing, but we really wanted to figure it out. And so we bought an apartment in Arkansas, Hope, Arkansas, a couple years ago.
Yep.
27 units there. And that was the start of it. We own properties in Southern Arizona, Arkansas. And then I started studying cities for single families.
Mm-hmm.
I studied lots, checked lots of them out. Pittsburgh, Detroit, Cleveland, Akron, Dayton. They're all great, by the way. None of those are a wrong answer. I found Cleveland to have the highest rents and the lowest prices.
Sure. And
the infrastructure of the city is they're putting money into the city.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people who love the city and they're really working to build it. So that's why we chose it. And the cash flow there is crazy.
Very cool. So you go in, and I forget, was your first deal in Cleveland was a house, right? Do I remember the story right?
Yep.
And then
they've all houses or duplexes. So far, they've all been houses or duplexes.
Right. So all residential. All right.
Very
cool. And if I remember correctly, you indicated, because one of the questions is everything in Cleveland's not equal. And you kind of said, we stay between here and here. And you referenced a Bigger Pockets article, if I remember right, during the event.
Yeah, there's actually a map of Cleveland in Bigger Pockets from some people. It's like a heat map, where to buy, where not to buy. So we use that. I use the advice of contractors, realtors, wholesalers. And then more importantly, I went there and we drove the neighborhoods.
Thank you.
Because we know what's good, what's bad, and what some people thought was a really bad neighborhood, we were completely okay with. And we get really low prices in those neighborhoods. Yeah. So we have a couple squares where we'll buy almost anything in these areas.
Yeah. What you just said is my number one thing, because I have a lot of people that watch this that scream out of state investing. And I'm like, well, have you been there? No. I'm like, what you're going to spend 50 grand or whatever it is on a house and you're not willing to go there? Well, I suggest you not put your money there. If you're not going to get your butt on an airplane and go check it out, I think you're an idiot, frankly.
Spend $1,000 and go check it out for sure.
You agree, right? I'm not being silly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Very cool. All right. So then you go up and you go, okay, your friend's been drilling in your head, get in multifamily. You're missing out. Was the Arkansas your first multifamily?
It was.
So let's tell that story. Or no?
It was our first big multifamily.
Yeah,
I already owned an 8-plex here in Phoenix, and we did some smaller 4-plexes and stuff. But yeah, So yeah, we've got this guy Marco Kozlowski who's on Facebook, and then our good friend Corey Peterson, the big
Yeah.
kahuna.
Yeah.
We went to his course. He's local with us, so we hang out with that guy.
Yeah.
And we felt comfortable. So a wholesaler brought us this Arkansas deal. We ran the numbers. It was exactly what we were looking for. It was already leased at double-digit returns.
Yeah.
It was a value add. You know, all of them needed to be rented out. Everything was well below market rents. So that's what we want. We want to be able to come into something that's already cash flowing. We don't really like to have anything vacant, and then slowly turn it and then raise it, and that's what we did. So we bought it for around $390.
Okay.
With rehab, we're all in for $500,000.
Okay.
We have an appraisal at $750, and then we took the rents from, I believe, like $6,600, and now we're at $12,500 a month.
So none of that sucks. That's all really, really good, as you know. What was the timeline, right? Because those numbers are sexy. How long from 6,600 day one to 12,500? How many months?
We
Roughly.
bought it July 1st, 2018, and we were there at, I don't know, probably in March. So probably 7-8 months.
Oh, wow. You guys don't mess around.
Yeah, we went hard with it. We wanted to be within a year for sure. We wanted to be able to turn most of them. And I believe last week our last old tenant who we didn't have a remodeled unit, he just moved out.
Yep.
So we're going to have 100% remodeled units now.
That's awesome. Rent's roughly doubled, it sounds like, from when you bought it, kind of run down to repaired and rehabbed.
Yeah, so this guy's so typical. He never wanted to fix anything. He's, your typical like slumlord.
Yeah.
So he would move these people in, and he would, as long as they paid, he would never raise their rent. So
yeah.
When we came out and took over, we let everybody know what we were going to do, and a lot of people left right away, and we were okay with that.
Yeah, sure.
But we had enough to where we could still pay the bills.
Yeah.
And,
one of the things that I remember, and again, I could just be off, but Hope, Arkansas, I thought you mentioned the population was like micros, like 10,000 or 20,000 people. It's just, do I remember that right?
Yeah. The census says 10,000, and it's always been 10,000. That's one thing. If it was 80, 30 years ago, and now it's 10, we're worried.
Okay.
But it's always been 10. And then we one of the things we always do with our due diligence is we go talk to the police, ask them about the apartment, and he told us how big their force was. I'm like, that's a lot for 10,000 people. He's like, no, we have way more than 10,000. They believe they have over 20,000 residents.
Okay.
So, but that's still tiny, tiny, tiny.
Yeah. So, okay. Cause I've never invested in a town that small. Well, I guess you don't really have any new development going on, right? So you have kind of a fixed inventory of units, I'm guessing.
There's only 3 apartments in town, and 2 of them are USDA. It's for the chicken farmers, so it's all subsidized.
Yep.
And so we're pretty much the only game in town.
Well, that's Monopoly is never bad. That's lots of people have proved that over the years. Okay,
we only have 27 units. I mean, 27 is not. It's not like we have 500 units to fill in a small town. Just a little 27, no big deal.
And they're all 1 bedrooms? Do I remember that right?
Studios and ones.
Yeah, studio and ones. Very cool. And then, so of the 27, now that the last one moved out, did anybody stay of the 27, or every unit got turned?
No, we had, I don't know, we probably had a third at least stay. Okay. And then we were moving people in within a month.
Of course. Very cool. Awesome. And I'm guessing a studio probably turns for $5,000 to $7,000, right? Flooring, paint, maybe a new appliance here and there. Kind of rough and tough.
True. Yeah, you're gonna throw a couple window units in, and carpet paint.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah,
awesome.
That's all we did.
So you did that. You're like, wow, some is good, more is better. Probably is what you were thinking.
So it was good. Yeah, we learned a lot on that one. Mainly is you have to overraise money, because last minute a bunch of our investors backed out on us, and we had to figure it out. That tends to happen a lot. People get cold feet.
Yeah.
And so you always want to over raise, I would say. Yeah. Maybe even by double.
Okay. Yeah, because that's, again, right, you get commitments And then it comes capital call time, and suddenly people go, oops, this or that, or no, or
And
don't pick up your phone.
yeah, the funny thing, a lot of them are, because we have a lot of people who are investors, so they want to do their thing, but they, most of them have jobs or whatever. A lot of them don't lend to us because they like, oh, if something comes up, I want to be able to do
Yeah.
something, but they never do.
Yeah.
And so their money sits and they make zero.
Yeah. And again, right, this economy goes from real estate's hot to real estate's not. They'll end up with zero again. We saw it last time. So it's pretty interesting.
Right.
All right. So now Cash Flow Kris is rocking and rolling. You got a 27 unit in Arkansas. Does it just scale exponentially from there? Like you're adding another apartment building in different parts of the country quarterly, maybe?
We have added one more big one. We have a 52 down in Southern Arizona.
Okay.
And that was last July.
Okay.
So a year ago, July. So yeah, we want to do at least one a year, one complex a year. We want to just make sure it's running really well. And then we've also put a big focus into Cleveland as well. It's a lot of single families, but yeah, we're going to be bundling and packaging those and refinancing, because
doing the commercial
numbers are crazy.
Yeah. So as you sit here, kind of tail into 2019, Cash Flow Kris has hundreds of units.
120.
There you go.
Yeah, we're at 120 doors.
Very cool. And you're still doing what I'll call again the work, right? You're still doing new builds, 37 unit new construction. Where do you go from here? Have you thought about it?
Just keep success. One of my things in my speech was success is boring.
Yeah. Yes. I remember.
It is. So many of us want, I want to do this, I want to do that. No, just let's just go buy 1,000 Cleveland homes. Let's go get 5 or 6 or 7 more apartments. Let's get bigger apartments.
Yeah.
Success is boring. Just keep doing what works.
I couldn't agree with that. When you said that, I thought back to 2008. I can't tell you how many 7-figure net worth folks got bored and started opening nightclubs or other stuff, and were broke like in 20 months when the economy turned. They just couldn't get the dominoes out of the way. Yeah. So yeah, success is boring, but you know what? Boring is okay. It's okay.
Oh, boring is great. Boring will make you rich.
Yeah, boring will make you rich. That is awesome. Well, again, Kris, how can people follow you, get in touch with you if they want to either learn more, be part of capital raises? How can they find you?
Sure. Cash Flow Kris with a K. Yeah, we've got lots of different lender programs. We love to help other people get their money moving, and we usually pay pretty good returns. And then just the education. We have lots of ways to invest in real estate. You can lend me money, but I would love for you to buy your own. I'll teach you how to do that. So yeah, we're big with education, and I love what you do. Thanks for spreading this message. Everybody needs to know about cash flow.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, it's a great message.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate everything. This video will be up today because people got to watch it.
I love it, man. Thanks a lot.
You got it. Take care.